Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by Fubo TV. Almost did it, but I got Fubo in there. You can watch your Avs on Fubo right now. If you go to FuboTV.com/DNVR, they've got altitude. So go check them out. Go get your Avs. You can also watch Nuggets, all that stuff too. Tonight, the Avs are taking on the Oilers in a game that's not going to start on time. Not even close. But still, let me, off the cuff, this moment. Is tonight's game a Western Conference Final preview?
Yes.
Okay. I feel good about the Avs getting their assuming relative health. Not sure if I'd pick Edmonton or Vegas when it came down to it. So, we'll see. You know.
Something to keep an eye on for tomorrow's off-day pod. Which we already have planned for once.
Oil seems legit right now.
I mean, certainly their last, 12 games? Pretty good.
Adding Elcom on the back end there has really helped them out.
Yep.
Yeah, who would have thought? Everybody hating on me for thinking Matthias Ekholm was legit.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
It's too true. Going 11-0-1 in the regular season is like, great accomplishment, guys. Wonderful. Nobody cares. You get bounced in the first two rounds, as we've seen with the Avs. So what?
Yeah.
A couple of things here. First, not necessarily related to this game, but lots of good news as far as people skating and making progress on Colorado's side. MacKinnon took full contact earlier today.
What a huge surprise
Yeah.
that these timelines all just happen to just work right on out.
Josh Manson and Cale Makar both expected for game one of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Bowen Byram is back in tonight.
I'm sorry, but is it not just a hell of a flex if you go on and win this division while actively being like, we're just holding Cale Makar out?
Must be nice. Let's start here. Given tonight's lineup, Blaze, who's better on paper, Edmonton or Colorado?
I'd have to go probably Edmonton tonight.
I don't disagree.
Just stacking up, like when you start looking at it, right? And
Yep. I mean, look, Cale Makar's kind of a big deal. You put just him back in, and I think you could start making a case for Colorado having the better lineup.
Yeah, but when you put Makar and Manson in,
Right, and
Yeah.
then things
you go
start-
from Jack Johnson to Josh Manson, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is a pretty Brad Hunt to Cale Makar, Johnson to Manson. You're like, hey, you've improved that back end quite a bit. You've given yourself a chance to go toe to toe
Yeah.
with the world's best player, and just an absolute unstoppable machine of an offense this year.
And I did want to get that in there because while this could be a preview of the two Western Conference Final teams, whatever the result tonight, keep in mind the Avs roster is not what it's going to be game one of the playoffs.
Yeah, one week from now.
Yep. Uh-oh, Ross Colton's hurt.
yeah,
We already know 1 week from now when the Avs open up their postseason,
Yep.
their roster levels up.
Yep. They're just going to be a better hockey team on paper.
So, whatever will be with tonight, it's the same thing with the Kings the other day where we were talking about, you're just trying to get the 2 points.
Yep.
This is not, you're not trying to project it out. You're not trying to, whatever. You're just saying, hey, you're just trying to get 2 points tonight. You're trying to win a division. They're trying to win a division.
well, just everything, like nothing's guaranteed in the playoffs, right? Like you could be super hot going into the playoffs. It's a different game.
Totally.
You've seen it before. Teams that are hot get into the playoffs, tank. Teams that haven't won. Last year, look at the Avs where it was like
lost 6 of 7 to end the year.
Yeah. I mean, there's reasons for it, but
Yeah, and some of those reasons. I mean, what you're talking about? Oh, these, they're I think Edmonton is 11-0-1 in their last 12 games, and you give them that credit. But it's like you look at that schedule, and you're like, look, when you get to the postseason, what changes? You play a playoff team. You play a playoff team every night. There's no easy nights. There are no free lunches in the postseason.
With that being said, it's not like there's nothing to play for here tonight. Avs are trying to hold on to the top
Absolutely,
spot in the Central. Edmonton trying to chase down Vegas in the top spot in the Pacific. So there's some urgency to this hockey game. You can expect some quality coming. I lead with the offense because this is a game that includes 5 100-point players.
Yeah.
Literally something we haven't seen for 37 years, I think it was.
Take the
86.
over.
Yeah.
Last time it happened in the NHL, I had not been born.
My parents were like barely in their 20s.
I'm not talking about how my parents were. My mom watches the show.
It's crazy. And
offense.
I'm
because
curious
this
on your
is-
guys' thoughts on it. Scoring across the league is up this year. Is this
Yeah.
the new normal? Is the NHL now a league where points are just it's not 80s level, but it's up.
Scoring was up last year too.
Not this high though.
And I think it's the new normal in terms of the emphasis on skill is higher than it ever has been.
Absolutely.
You're seeing more draft picks under 6 feet tall going in the first 2 rounds than ever before, because you look at some of the small stars who have taken over your league. Cole Caulfield and Alex DeBrincat. There used to be one of those guys every 20 years. Now there's like 5 of them in the league right now, with more on the way. So I do think that it's probably going to be up. One, the physicality on defense is less emphasized in favor of defenders who have puck skill.
Yep.
And everything is cyclical, it will come back around. This might be the peak of this generation being built like this. This might be like one of those years we look back and go, well,
Well, what you're seeing though,
it got crazy that year.
what you're seeing though is like the skill level. It used to be like, oh, he's little, he's got skill.
Right.
He's big, he can lay hits. Now you're starting to see the big guys can't just rely on I'm a big dude that can hit guys.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing Tage Thompsons come into this league that are 6'7" big dudes that are only going to get bigger and highly skilled. And I think that's what you'll start to see is you're going to see the bigger guys that are going to have you're going to have to learn to play the game a different way. You can't do what past generations have done for hockey.
Being big isn't enough anymore.
No, I
Yeah.
mean it's a dinosaur look at what it is now.
You look at 15 years ago, Curtis McDermott is more valuable than Devon Toews.
Absolutely.
Because of what teams were prioritizing,
Yeah.
how teams wanted to build their defenses, and how the game got played made McDermott more valuable.
Yep.
And you look at it now, and you look at what those guys bring to how the game gets played. The value is totally different. It's changed that much, and that's where that's just where we are headed. And so I think that contributes to the game being as high scoring as it is. And you're also seeing this Edmonton team with the greatest power play of all time.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I think as teams invest more in their analytics departments, their modeling gets more and more advanced. They start figuring out little advantages on where you can really create scoring chances, where the expected goals are the highest, where you're able to do all these things. And I think you're gonna see. I don't think it's gonna get to be such a science like it got with baseball, where the league was like, all right, we have to stop you from acting like this.
Is the power play going to become a 2 true outcome event?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not going to get to that level, but I do wonder if we are headed for an era where we start to see 30% power plays.
Well, and you've already seen teams, right? Toronto earlier this year was messing around with a 5 forward power play. Like, people are dipping their toes into the extremes of those analytical tests.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see more of that in the next couple of years.
I expect it as well. It is interesting with Edmonton. We all know I'm a big Nuge fanboy, but I think we all probably say he doesn't get to 100 points if he's not playing on the same team as McDavid. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I figured as much.
Yeah.
You get those nice matchups, right? When
It
you
doesn't
got
hurt.
high-end
It
players.
doesn't hurt.
McDavid, Draisaitl, both those two.
Well, and Nuge has more power play
You're
points
right,
and even
exactly.
strength points this
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
And that PP1, again, is the best maybe ever.
Yeah. Well, and that's also one of the concerns that you have about them going into the postseason is that as you get deeper into the playoffs, your power play opportunities go
Get
down
less and less, for
How
sure.
are they going to survive in the two? You look at what happened in the Stanley Cup final last year. Power plays were pretty frequent in the first 3 games,
And then
then all of a sudden you got into the end of the series, and power play it's like one each team.
yep.
You know, I mean, we saw it in the Vegas series a couple of years ago.
That just dropped off.
The Avs,
Yep.
the Avs went from having 4 or 5 power plays in the first couple of games, where they ended up with 5 power plays in 4 games,
Yep.
and I think 4 of those were delay of game. And so you're talking about, hey, you get into the postseason, you're not going to get
Got to be able to do it
early
even
in
strength.
series.
Yep.
Is where you tend to get power plays. But as you get deeper into one, are they going to be able to win 5v5? Are the Avs going to be able to win 5v5? They have absolutely lived on the edge this year when it comes to their success on the power play, just getting them across the finish line.
Yep.
The Avs have a major question mark in that same area. The difference being that the Avs did it last year, so
There's a little more confidence there.
There's a little bit of leeway, where you're like, hey, they've proven they can do it, and Edmonton hasn't proven shit.
Yep. I did want to get into, first of all, that tonight we've talked a lot about how the Avs have been a little bit too penalty happy at times this year, specifically guys like Mikko and Cogs. Going to make your life real hard if you're taking unnecessary penalties against Edmonton.
Yeah.
And
Holy God, play a disciplined game.
That's got to be the message in the locker room too.
oh, yeah, for sure. I think Jesse talked to Mikko before tonight and was like, yep, their power play's pretty good. Should probably not give him that.
Yep.
He should be talking to himself when he says that, Mr.
Not
One
wrong.
of the league's leaders in minors taken this year.
Not wrong.
Talking to himself about not talking. Period.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to the ref. I'm not going to do it.
But the other side of this is a lot of stuff could shake out tonight. We already mentioned Avs Oilers fighting for the tops of their divisions. You have Seattle also playing Vegas tonight.
Yep.
Which could have significant impact on the wild card spot race between Seattle and LA.
Yeah. Last I checked, Winnipeg was bodying Minnesota.
They were up 2-0 last I looked. Yeah.
It is still 2-0.
How
So
much time?
5 minutes in the second. Who knows though? This
yeah,
NHL app
it could
sucks.
delay
Yeah.
for sure. But Winnipeg
If
could
that
clinch their
holds-
spot. Yeah.
If that holds, you really like Colorado's chances to host round 1,
Yep.
no matter if they win or lose tonight.
Yep.
Winnipeg will be in. Winnipeg will be sitting if they clinch tonight. Winnipeg will be sitting Connor Hellebuck in Denver 2 nights from now. David Riddick will get that start. Other guys might also sit, because that will then be a meaningless game for the Jets, which also means that the next day in Nashville will also be a meaningless game for the Preds.
Yep.
So this could set up nicely for the Avs if the Jets take care of business tonight. You could have a couple of teams that sit guys because they're just saying, hey, we're not playing for anything here. And that creates a little extra pressure to take care of business tonight. You win this game tonight, and you are really, really, really feeling good about the chances of
Getting
winning that
Seattle
Central
in
Division.
round 1 most likely and winning
Yeah.
the Central Division.
Those are 2 things that you would really like to do.
Yep. It's go out and that's a goal.
Ooh,
All right,
says
good,
puck drop
good.
at
That means this game is like over.
7:45.
Cool.
Anyway, it's we've been saying for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games now. The next one, the biggest one.
Yep.
This could be the last one where the next one is the biggest one.
It could be the last one where both teams have everything on the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
And care a whole lot about it. And it's fair to wonder, how much do the Avs even really care? Because
true.
they have not looked like a team that has really. I think
going
Nate.
full bore.
I think MacKinnon kind of gave the game away a little bit the other day when he said the playoffs are going to be a little bit different. I think we'll probably be better on home ice.
Well, I don't know. I think the game the other night did sum it up as well, because you saw 2 pretty darn good periods out of Colorado, even if there were some mistakes in the second
Sure.
period. And then you saw them, they weren't playing their best in the third until they needed to.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is what Colorado
And then,
actually looks like.
they turned
Yeah.
it back up and went all at them.
Yep.
And you're like, okay.
So there's a couple different speeds to this team. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. If you're holding on to the idea that the Avs are going to get first in the Western Conference, then you
Yeah.
are rooting for the Avs need to win out, essentially,
And Vegas needs to lose out, and Edmonton needs to
they don't
lose to
have to
San Jose.
lose
The
out.
Kraken.
They need to lose one.
They
You're
need to
right.
lose one of those to get to 109.
Yeah, the Kraken need to beat Vegas.
at least once.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just more worried about winning the division right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if
that's
that
the
happens-
easiest path, then.
Yeah, if the entire league plinkos you to the top of the West, great. But it's
No, yeah, but it's
tough
really
to get
about
there.
getting that wild
yeah,
card
exactly
in the first round.
Yeah, you don't want
Arguably-
Dallas and Minnesota. You just don't want that.
No,
Arguably, Seattle's a better matchup than Winnipeg for Colorado anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh boy. Well, maybe this game isn't as over as I thought.
So now, do they push that puck drop back now?
What is that guy doing?
10
Well,
Eastern
that was a
time?
weird celebration.
Blaze, let's get some bets in here.
Yeah, let's go. What did I do here? I'm fading McDavid
Oh, that's right.
here.
You do under
under
The
1.5
on
at
McDavid.
plus 120. You know, hold them down. That's hard to do, but
I did it earlier.
Yeah.
Based on the playoffs and earlier in the year, he's either getting 3 points or none. So
that's true. Rantanen's going to have a night. He's going to get 2 points here. So plus 115.
Positive
Like it.
money on that right now. Pretty good.
Pretty good. And then I'm going with MacKinnon, first goal scorer. It's going to set the pace for the night. He's got something to prove always.
We have time before this game.
Yeah.
Yay. The Rockies hit a home run.
Yay.
We have time before this game. Do you guys have, like, somebody in chat says the Kraken worry me a bit. Do you guys have preferences?
I think Kraken would be my number one choice to play.
Okay. Why?
I don't think they're legit in any stretch. One, the goaltending, obviously.
Yep.
Okay.
But two, that is a team with very, very, very little playoff experience. Like, best case scenario, that's a team that feels like the 17-18 Avs the first year. We're like, hey,
Yeah.
we're just happy to be here.
Yeah.
A team that the Avs should easily dispatch. And the reason I prefer them is Winnipeg, there's always a chance you get Hellebuck to there.
Yeah.
If
Not
he just
such a
decides
chance
you
that you're going to get Drew Bauer or
not-
Martin Jones.
significantly less chance there.
Are those things?
On the other side of it, LA is a team that's just not going to be an easy out.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're a contender, but they are going to grind.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
want
not going to
that
be a fun
first round.
series.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
It's a
with it.
well-coached team. I think he's getting the most that he can get out of that team.
Oh, I think so
The
too.
Kraken?
The Kraken.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just don't. You don't have the super high-end talent.
Yeah.
And again, in goal and in defense, I think you just clobber that team.
And when you look at the difference between a team that wins rounds in the playoffs and a team that gets to the playoffs, the Kraken formula, you're fine offensively. You get some guys that maybe outperform their careers a little bit. Jared McCann has 40 goals this year. Like, give me a break, dude. But you also have a really good defense. Their goaltending just isn't very good, but in the regular season, you can win.
Get away with some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
you're going to have some of those. I think they're tied with Edmonton for the most number of games with 7 goals this year, which is crazy to think about after last year. But how many of those are they going to get in the postseason? How many of those easy outs, those easy 2 points are they going to get when they're going up against teams that have the kind of finishing ability to punish their goaltending every single night?
And you just don't have that core that's been together, been into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Understand it. Like, you have players that have been there, but it's different as a team to gel the right way. Look at it, the Avs. It took them a few times to crack it.
Like 2 or 3 years from now with Shane Wright and Matty Beniers down the middle,
Yeah.
you might feel a little bit differently. But right now,
They're not there yet.
Yeah.
Matty Beniers and Yanni Gore just don't really scare me when I've got Nathan MacKinnon on the other side.
Right.
You have Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar, some of the star power that the Avs bring to the table. Seattle just does not have
Those guns yet.
they don't they don't have that next level to their game yet.
Yep.
And that's where I feel like there's that clear advantage for Colorado.
Yep.
So, just using some of the extra time that we have in this, I just figured I would have this conversation. We're not going to get a lot of time before.
We are not. It's going to be quick. It's going
They
to
have
gonna
once
go.
again have another freaking back-to-back, and we already know what we're talking about tomorrow.
We're going to be
so.
dropping like 4 videos a day of our previews this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's going to come fast.
Yeah, straight up.
All right, we can wrap up this pregame though. Again, DraftKings Sportsbook is where you can get your Blaze bets in. You must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See the show notes down below for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700, and it's all void in Ohio. We have our watch along coming up, so we're gonna go back live in a couple minutes here. Maybe we'll catch the end of this Tampa game while waiting for the Avs game to start. Hope to see you there, but at very least, tune in for the post game. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Talk to you in a few.